jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Oh, what's good, everyone? WCS back on the boulevard once again. First in the building, Mr. Gumbo, aka Hot Grease, aka Mr. Sucker Free. Salute to you, brother. Always a pleasure seeing you in the building. And also, thank you for your support. You know what I'm saying? It's Tuesday, the top of the hour, just a little bit past 10. XO Factory on deck. The XO Factory is on deck in the building. Salute to y'all two brothers. You know what I'm saying? We have some boxing, you know what I'm saying, in the AM boxing talk with WCS. Yeah, we want to talk about some multiple topics today, of course. This wouldn't be considered, a hot grease moment, but hopefully it's a interesting moment with the topics. You know what I'm saying? I have about 3 main topics I'm gonna talk about. You feel me? So y'all make sure y'all stand by. And hit the like button if you're in the building. I appreciate it. Hit the Haynes Legacy is on deck. What's good with it, Haynes? Salute to you and the fam, brother. You know what I'm saying? Hope all is well. Samar Warren on deck. What's good with it, brother? Good morning. Good morning to everyone that's in the building. Good morning to all the good brothers who out there getting it in, enjoying life, making a living. You know what I'm saying? Not second guessing themselves and taking command of where they going in life. You know what I'm saying? Command decisions, shawty. Command decisions. It's definitely important. I want to first talk about Alistair Overeem. When I initially seen this brother overseas, I was saying to myself, because I used to go watch kickboxing Grand Prix over there. And let me tell you, it was very, very interesting because, for one, I knew they wasn't testing. It wasn't testing back then. So in Japan, these guys was just some of the biggest guys you'll ever want to see. Not everybody was bulked up in the kickboxing, but I did see a lot of fighters that end up transitioning or transferring over to the stateside to the UFC. They used to fight in these Japanese organizations before they was bought out or whatever the case may be, right? So I remember going to a fight card. I seen Alistair, all over the place among some other fighters. You know what I'm saying? Even Sammy Schultz and a lot of other kickboxers. I forgot their name, but I remember seeing Alistair, man, and look at how big this dude was. I said, damn, this dude got muscle on top of muscle. He's like 6'4", 6'4" and a half, 6'5", whatever. He's a big dude, right? And I remember seeing how invincible he looked in the kickboxing ring. I was like, damn, this dude, he's tough. Looks like a granite Adonis statue. I mean, dude was super ripped, man. And this picture that I have on the left in the thumbnail, this is just him in the UFC. But he was much bigger than that in the Grand Prix. I'm talking about huge. This dude was absolutely enormous, man. And I remember him doing an interview and he said he was eating, you know, um, horse meat or something like that. You know, he had this thing where people believing that he was eating a certain type of lean meat, and it was all about his diet and so forth. But everybody and anybody who followed him knew over in Japan that wasn't the case. You was on some a lot more than just strict lean protein. If you look to the right, and let me tell you this, Alistair's last fight was February. No, I'll take that back. Yeah, his last active fight was February 2021. So you take February 2021 to now, we're talking about almost 2.5 years. His last fight was Rico Van Herven. And that was not Rico Van Herven. I'm tripping. Alexander Volkov, once rising prominent, mixed martial artist. But yeah, his last fight was with Alexander Volkov, right? He was supposed to fight Rico Van Herven in the kickboxing and also Badou. But you know what I'm saying? They was both canceled. And also the Badou situation was a no contest. But what I'm trying to tell you is that his last fight in mixed martial arts was February 2021. From then, because I don't know, I know he started to get the dad body. He wasn't as big when he came, over there and sustained his presence when he was competing in the UFC. He wasn't able to sustain that because, you got to get tested over there. He looked a pretty good size when he fought Brock Lesnar. You know what I'm saying? He fought Brock Lesnar and put him on his freaking resume back in the day. Everybody was talking about how big Brock was until they put him in there with freaking Alistair Overeem. But he's been in there with the who's now. He fought Brock Lesnar back in 2011. You know how time flies, man. He fought Tyrone Spong in kickboxing. He fought Antonio Bigfoot Silva, Mauricio Verdun. You know what I'm saying? He has wins over this guy. Mauricio Verdun was the first person who subbed out Fedor Emelianenko, man. So, he has Antonio Bigfoot Silvas, right? Travis Browns, Frank Mears, Ben Rothwells, the Roy Nelsons, JDS, Junior Dos Santos, Andre Arlovsky, Stipe Miocic, Mark Hunt, Francis Ngannou, Curtis Blaze, Sergey Pavlovich, Alexander Volkov cancellation, but he ended up fighting him and losing. Jorginho Rosenstruck, Walt Harris. He has the who's on his resume, but also he was, in violation. He did pop dirty in violation of the substance policy, and was suspended or whatever. And this was, I think, overseas for kickboxing, I believe. But if you look to the right, that is Alistair Overeem now. He has lost a tremendous amount of weight, and he's looking, what people would be considered normal. abnormal in his case by what he looked like before. He was all built, jacked up. Now he just looked like a regular guy walking down the street. Nothing to be worried about. I mean, he can still whoop your ass, but I'm just saying, as far as a size comparison, comparable to what he used to look like and what he looked like now, I hope he doesn't have health problems going on. I hope there's not organ failure, that's going on, because we had a lot of bodybuilders pass away in 2022 and 23 at a young age. A lot of these guys was in their 40s, early 40s, and they was passing away like it was cool. So I hope he doesn't have anything going on with his kidney or anything like that, to the point where he's going through weight issues. So I just wanted to put this up here. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to touch it briefly on Alistair Overeem, how drastic of a weight cut. I wouldn't say a weight cut, a weight loss that he's experienced. I mean, he's extremely small, doesn't look like the same guy we've seen him in the cage, in the ring, competing overseas and in the States. He just doesn't look the same. So we'll see how that plays out. Real talk. Let's get to Canelo Alvarez, man. Canelo Alvarez, it goes without saying when it comes to Canelo. Saul Canelo Alvarez, put some respect on his name. 59-2-2. Alvarez is considered one of the best fighters of this era. You know what I'm saying? He does have 2 draws. One coming at the hands of Jorge Juarez, in his 5th fight, I believe, in his career, and then to Gennady Golovkin in the first fight that they pretty much locked horns in. Canelo is currently a 4-weight world champion, reigning, defending, undisputed super middleweight world champion. He's holding all the crowns at 168. Canelo also is 59 victories, and with 39, he sits only at 5'8", 5'8", y'all. He's 5'8" with a 70 and a half inch reach. He has a total of 63 bouts. He has absolutely 3 fights, even though a lot of those fights was in Mexico. I repeat this every time that I mention Canelo because it's true. You know what I'm saying? This is documented. This is on his box rec. It's there. He had a lot of fights in Mexico, but what he was able to do outside of those fights from Mexico, and how he was able to build himself up and become who he is today as a cash cow, is undisputed to a point. Canelo has been known to put rehydration clauses in there, right? People feel some type of way because they say, okay, if you're that good, why it has to be rehydration clauses? And we just had the Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia rehydration clause, where people were just acting like no one else has ever did it. They act like it was brand new. But no, Canelo's been doing this for a while. And the reason why it's important to note is because he attempted to basically present an offer for Badou Jack. Now, if you remember and you follow me, right? Remember what I was telling you, that Canelo is not leaving the sport without being a 5-division champion. I put it out there. You know I did. I know I did. And I'm going to say it again. Canelo is not trying to leave boxing as a 4-weight champion. He wants to be a 5-weight champion. So at the time, Lunga Makabu, I felt that Canelo was going to go up there and take that WBC belt, in which he attempted. It was there's a little buzz going on the airwaves about him potentially going up there and fight Makabu, but Makabu looked bad in that fight that he had prior to this information getting out. And they said, nah, Canelo, that's not a good look for you just going up there fighting and taking that man's belt. It's not a good look. But on the other hand, I don't think they will really care what type of look it is. You know what I'm saying? But God is good, because Badou Jack was able to step in there with Makabu, and it was a damn good fight too. And Badou Jack was able to earn his third weight division. He earned the title of super middleweight, light heavyweight, and now cruiserweight. Now, the crazy part about this, and that's extremely interesting, is that Canelo wanted to fight Badou Jack at 180-pound catch weight. Anybody and everybody knows that cruiserweight is 200 pounds. Let's go to the article of Boxing News 24, right? Canelo Alvarez retweeted a post today from somebody that reminded fans that Badou Jack was willing to fight the Mexican star at 168 only 2 years ago in 2021. Now, look, that is a part of the scroll. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's written in the manuscript. Like, yeah, he was willing. Somebody can pull up the history, there's documentation and all that. It doesn't make it right 2 years since it was 2 years ago. It doesn't make it right. A lot can go on depending on your age and how your body is your metabolism is slowing down and how your body is holding on the weight. 2 years ago, it sounds good as far as the number. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 years doesn't seem a long time, but yet you have to factor in someone's age. You have to factor in those numbers too into the equation. But Canelo kind of blew it off like, oh, just 2 years ago, he was willing to fight me at 168. So what's the big problem? Why y'all coming at me? The article goes on to say Canelo retweeted was one to show that he wasn't the bad guy for insisting the 39 years old now, Badou Jack drained down to 180 pounds to defend his WBC cruiserweight title with the added rehydration clause. An added rehydration clause, y'all. So he's going for the double, super duper whammy. He's keeping true to form with the rehydration clause and sticking the catch weight in there. All right. Canelo say, hey, I don't care what you think at this point in time. I do what I want, how I want, when I want. That's pretty much Canelo's mentality, bro. Now Badou Jack is rejecting Canelo's request for 180-pound catch weight plus rehydration clause for a fight for his recently won WBC cruiserweight title. So that the weight limit for the cruiserweight division is 200 pounds. This is me reading the article. For all intents and purposes, if Badou agreed to Canelo's request, they're basically saying he would be selling his cruiserweight title for a payday. And a lot of us will agree for that, especially with the catch weight and the rehydration clause. It would be a torrent of a fight camp and weight cut for Badou Jack, especially on fight night, having a rehydration clause and going in there with somebody to the name of Canelo who's basically adding weight. You're talking about close to 40 years old. Everybody can't beat Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux at his age was still cutting weight and going in there and performing pretty decent. But, Badou Jack at this point, he's not and never did fight at bantamweight. So, him being older, of course he's going to feel bad. Of course he's going to be restricted. You know what I'm saying? Of course he's going to be limited to how healthy he would feel if he was stepping in there his natural competing weight at cruiserweight. Of course. He looked strong in there against Makabu. He said when Badou offered to fight Canelo at 168, the Sweden native was campaigning at 175. So he would need only 7 pounds to come down to fight. Facts. However, in the last 2 years, Badou has bulked up to 200 plus pounds, and his walk around weight is reportedly 210 pounds. 210 pounds now. 210 pounds. So you want this man to pretty much come in 40 pounds than his walk around weight, or something like that, right? Or freaking 30 pounds. You want him to drop 30 pounds, bro. That's just crazy. You want him to drop 30 fucking pounds. However, Keep it moving. In July 2021, Jack said he'll fight 168 Canelo at 175. If Badou was at light heavyweight, it would be much easier, being that he's basically maintaining his weight pretty decent in between fights, and he was campaigning at light heavyweight. It would be much more easier for him to make entry at a lower weight because of the amount of weight that he have to lose. It's not that heavy on him. It's not going to burden him as much as dropping 20 freaking pounds, y'all. 20 pounds. It goes without saying that it'd be a massive shift in weight for Badou to dehydrate down to 180 pounds and then deal with the rehydration clause for a title defense of his WBC cruiserweight belt. For all that to be possible, Badou would need to diet by not eating to lose massive amount of muscle, run daily to help trim down. They're just talking about what he needs to do. It says bad enough that Canelo is targeting 39-year-old Badou Jack to try and capture his 5th division world title at cruiserweight because he's arguably the weakest link among the champions in 200-pound division. The arguably more talented champions at cruiserweight, and they mention these guys, right? We already know that the cruiserweight division, not too many people really speak on, credible champions that's campaigning at the cruiserweight division. Badou recently defeated WBC cruiserweight out last February to capture the belt. My thing is, like I put out there before, Canelo is going to find somehow, some way to make it right for Badou Jack to fight him, and I don't think he's gonna fight him at the cruiserweight limit of 200. It's gonna still be at a catch weight, but money talks. All that other shit walks. I think they're gonna come back with an offer because you have Mauricio Suleiman that's highly invested in satisfying Canelo's wants and needs and anything he so desire. He's going to make sure that Canelo Alvarez gets that freaking WBC and become a five-weight world champion before he get up out of here on retirement. Yes, he is, bro. Watch what I tell you. Pay attention. Watch what I tell you. Mauricio Suleiman is definitely going to find somehow, some way to make this fight happen. If this fight doesn't happen, he's going to find somehow, some way to get him, something. Look, you're talking about a president who put the franchise tag on Canelo first after they were saying you have to petition for it, but it was nothing for Canelo to petition for, but he did help Canelo with that franchise tag back in the day. So what make you think he's not going to try to accommodate him getting his 5th division out the door? It's going to happen, people. It's only a matter of time. It's going to happen. They just have to go back and talk some things over and try to come up with a different plan. That's all. Canelo is not leaving the sport until he's a 5-division champion. He's did a lot in his career, but it's certain people that's above him with 5 divisions that he want to be in that category too. You know what I'm saying? 5 is just, it sounds better than 4. 4 sounds better than 3. And that's where we're going to leave it. You know what I'm saying? So just keep your eyes open, ears tuned in. This is going to be interesting. Real talk. This is going to be interesting to see how this plays out over time. I think it's going to be something that people may be upset with, but if Badou Jack does take a higher catch weight, okay, maybe he have to come down 10 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he have to come down 10 pounds, knowing that the money is right and he's not going to be his strongest. And, he come down 10 pounds, something like that. And he can't rehydrate no higher than 195, something like that. Either way it goes, I think it's going to be tough for Badou Jack at the end of the day. But I would say keep your eyes peeled, ears to the streets, because they're going to go back to the drawing board, talk it up, try to see what they can do, try to see what work the numbers a little bit for Badou Jack, and try to present him with another offer. That's all. Badou Jack is going to make sure it's worth it for him to go in there and fight Canelo at a catch weight and a rehydration clause. Come on now. I don't hear people screaming and yelling about this shit. I guess because it's Badou Jack. You know, I mean, I don't hear the outcry now. This is crazy. You got two stipulations: rehydration and a catch weight. Hold on for a minute. All right, we back. Let me get to the chat. We back. Let me get to the chat. We back to the chat. To the chat. We back. We back. Kate Man P, what's good? Boxing MMA 365. A lack of steroids. Man, come on, bro. Health conditions will reduce your size too. Obviously, we're not talking about juice. That was way back in the day. Obviously, this man is off everything, or he might have some health issues, as skinny as he is. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't even look strong right now. He doesn't even look strong right now, bro. But I say Canelo Alvarez and whoever's with him, his people, they are looking to purchase that fifth division. Period. Boxing is a business, man. We already know what it is. They're gonna come back and talk it out and try to see what is an acceptable, respectful number that's appeasing to Badou Jack. The ticket has to be correct. You know what I'm saying? For Badou Jack to go in there and face two, and this is just asinine. You know what I'm saying? You say 2 years ago he wanted to fight you when he was contending at light heavyweight. That's just like a slap in the face to say, I do what I want. I'm a prima donna. But I do understand, I guess in my older years, that if you have accomplished certain things in your boxing career, you feel that you're able to, have moments like this where you feel entitled. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you earned the right to put demands out there like that. And then with Canelo, he's probably looking at it like, you have the choice to take it or not. But don't complain about it. I put it out there. You're the champion. It's not like I'm your mandatory. You have the option to accept or reject. That's his mentality. Shit, I'm trying to give you an opportunity to step in the ring with me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, bro. Canelo is at a point right here in his boxing life where He absolutely feels like he can he can put that type of information out there, to a fighter and don't feel no type of way about it. I ain't feeling no type of way about giving you a rehydration clause in the catch weight. After all this, what I've done, I feel like this is what I can do. I've earned this right to basically put you in a situation, a decision making, you test your decision making skills. Do you want to check or not, homie? Do you want to check or not? If you don't want to check and you just want to, defend your belt at 40 years old, then so be good about the amount of money that you was paid to lose your title. Then I'm your guy. Okay, I'm your guy. You know I'm your guy. I'm your guy. Okay, Badou. And Badou Jack's a good dude, man. I'm just talking, right? This is nothing against Badou Jack. I'm talking. I'm just giving a highlight and what I think about this. Canelo is just like putting it out there, like, hey, bro, you want to lose your title fighting me for a big ticket, or lose your title fighting somebody else for mediocre money? You take your pick. Let us give him a second offer, renegotiate, or whatever the case may be. A second offer, maybe increase the pounds of the catch weight a little bit, and also increase those monetary digits. Then we might see a fight in the future, because Canelo definitely want that fifth division, and I put it out there when he was when Makabu was champion. I said, Canelo could go up there and scoop up that title from Makabu and vacate it, and then he's a five division champion. But you know where I'm at with it. I agree he looks scary small. There must be something wrong with his health. Hopefully that's not the case. He just looks like he's not even in competition weight. He doesn't look healthy to me. You know what I'm saying? I hope the best for Alistair. Good dude. I did have the opportunity to meet him. Good dude. But he looks entirely skinny. He doesn't look in competition weight at all. So there might be something going on internally. But that's where I'm at with Canelo Alvarez, though. Let's get to the something that I believe that I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there for justice. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put this out there for justice. Okay, this is my build up to this, and this is about Jahi Tucker. In case y'all don't know, right? So this is my build up for justice for boxing in general. We just witnessed a fight that didn't really have any titles attached to it. You know what I'm saying? It really wasn't front loaded heavy like Crawford Spence. This is all about undisputed. This is all about legacy and everything, right? But this fight that I'm speaking on for Jahi Tucker and how he's on a very solid rise. Been on TV since day one, going in there with LeBron James jersey on and stuff. I want y'all to hear me out about this guy, right? He was at 147 pounds, start to grow and have a growth spurt, and he's at 154. Okay, so if you look at his previous fights, you understand that there's no just one or two templates as to how he goes in there and scrap. There's different areas on how he go in there and delegate his opposition. You talk about the sweet signs, it does involve his mindset and his boxing IQ when it comes to the sweet signs. It does, bro. He has a lot of skills that are unique, beautiful to watch, and it also includes defense. Now, recently, we seen Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia be on pay-per-view, and we're talking about this is not something that's a title-heavy, front-loaded freaking fight. And that's what the main topic of discussion is. Who has the most titles? What titles are they? And so forth. But let me explain to you where I'm at with boxing in general. They say that you want to come into the sport and be a prize fighter. I get it. But some people act like they want to pick and choose who gets the prize. No, you can't wait around and chase one fighter at the top of the mountain. You wait and put too much time and effort being nice, you know what I'm saying? Letting everything come to you. You might be waiting aimlessly and the shit might pass you off. In this day and time, you got to find your niche on how the fuck do I make it to the top? How do I get people tuned into me? How do I get the attraction going from the consumers that want to come to the venue and see me fight? Not just see me fight on the undercard, see me fight on a pay-per-view or see me fight in the main event. Jahi Tucker called out Xander Zayas several months ago. And at that time, we know Xander Zayas, a Puerto Rican fighter. And shout out to Xander Zayas, man. I have nothing against Zayas, bro. You know what I'm saying? Good dude. I've interviewed him. He's 16-0 right now, 10 knockouts. Okay. He's just coming off a performance with Ronald Cruz where he looked mediocre. I'm just putting it out there. But let me give you some statistics about Zayas' record. Zayas had like about 4 or 5 4-rounders. I think it was about 5 4-rounders. He has 7 6-rounders. He's had 7 6-rounders on his boxing resume and 4 8-rounders. All right. 5 4-rounders, 7 6-rounders, and 4 8-rounders, if I'm correct. For Jahi Tucker, he had 4 4-rounders, 4 6-rounders, and 2 8-rounders. He's going in there July 1st to contend for his 11th professional fight. Now, why is WCS speaking of Xander Zayas and Jahi Tucker? Both of these fighters are extremely talented fighters, bro. They're signed under the same promotion. They're both 20 years of age. Jahi Tucker turned professional 11 months after Zayas did. They both young lions in the game, yo. Young freaking lions in the sport of boxing. Now, when he called them out, you know, supposedly there were some people that was angered by the actions taken by Jahi to say, hey, I want to fight the best. You know what I'm saying? I want to goddamn send out the gauntlet. I want to do the call out. And I think it's a perfect time. But they thought, no, we're trying to raise Zayas up. We're trying to move him accordingly. No, you can't call him out and all this other shit. But look, no. We can't allow this to happen again now. We can't allow certain fighters to be able to speak on other fighters when it's plausible for the moment, only because we want to show some type of royalty to a fighter that's on the come up. But then it's only accommodating when they talk about all the history and this fighter was the youngest to do this, the youngest to do that. Okay, if you are one of those fighters where they saying, oh, you're going to be a future world champion, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. When Jahi called this man out at the post-fight conference, he say he don't want to fight him because he don't want to fight him at this point in his career because he'll end his career. Some to that nature. Zayas says something like that. He don't want to end his career. So at that point in time, Jahi had a fight scheduled at 147 where he missed weight. So he missed weight, and people, they felt the way they did about Jahi Tucker and missing weight. It happens in boxing. He wasn't the first human being to lace up gloves to miss weight. He wasn't the first one. So therefore, moving forward, he gets a fight at 154. Jahi gets a fight at 154. Now, this is in the midst of him calling out Xander several months prior, right? And people knowing that he called out Xander. The people at Top Rank know him because some of them was angered about him doing that. They felt like, yeah, you continue to just put one glove in front of the other and be quiet and punch. You know what I'm saying? We will match make you. Please don't interrupt the post-fight conference. And please don't let it be one of our rising Puerto Rican fighters. I'm just giving you a story, right? But I didn't see any wrong in what Jahi did. That's what you're supposed to do as a competitor. That's what you're supposed to do is you want to get name recognition to build up your brand and to let people know that, yes, I'm him. I'm him. So the only way I'm going to convince you that I'm him is to call out a fighter that's in my weight class now that you believe is him too. And that's what he did. He called out Xander. So his first fight is 154 pounds. He get Nico Seknashvili, a guy who fought as high as 177. Now, in this fight, we wasn't going through the Canelo conundrum. Well, we're talking about, hey, well, you know, Team Tucker, they was talking about catch weight. You know, this guy's just huge. You know, want to put a rehydration clause in there. No, took the fight. You know what I'm saying? Dude had gradually made himself down to 154 pounds. But the common denominator is that he was Zayas' sparring partner. And this was a big dude. This was a dude that had power, big for 154 pounds. And Team Tucker took the fight. Not only did Team Tucker take the fight, you didn't hear of any complaining and whining and goddamn talking shit about the promotion, about what they're trying to do, how big this guy was. Oh my God, it's a mismatch and all this other shit. That's not what I heard. I heard from a team that was confident. I heard them put it out there that, hey, if they want to give us Seknashvili, we're going to break them up. We're going to break them up. That's the kind of attitude you want to hear, right? He said, oh, we're going to break them up. But they did acknowledge that it's going to be a tough fight. They did put some respect on Seknashvili. They said, okay, this is going to be a tough fight, but we're going to break them up, though. We're going to break them up. It's going to be a tough fight, but we're going to break them up. They respected the fact that this dude was legit. Now, when Jahi fought this dude, Nico Seknashvili, he was 8-1, right? He was 8-1. And, you know, like I said, he fought as high as light heavyweight, y'all. No complaining. This dude is 29 years old, so they can't say he was old. Jahi's 20, Seknashvili, 29 years old, man. Big dude. He had fought approximately, let me see, a couple of fights at around 168 and then made his way below 160. Went back up to 161 and then fought 2 fights at 154. So he was acclimated at the weight division enough with 2 fights in 2021 and 2022. So that was ample amount of time for him to shed those pounds to step in there with Jahi in 2023. And Jahi Tucker fought this man in April of 2023 in the Hard Rock Hotel Casino, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Once again, I repeat, the Hard Rock Hotel Casino, Tulsa, Oklahoma. The reason why I had to repeat it twice is because the performance will make you revisit it more than twice, more than once. It'll make you revisit because that was a hell of a fight between Jahi Tucker and Nico Seknashvili. Now, it wasn't really no like bad blood. It wasn't nothing that went on at the weigh-ins or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Weight was made accordingly, right? The ring walk was seen in front of thousands, millions. Both fighters entered the ring, received the referee's instructions. It was a packed house in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was a packed house. So me being ringside, I'm looking at a good look at Nico. I'm looking a good look. This dude is huge. I was like, God damn, he looks like a freaking light heavyweight. I'm just saying, okay, this dude is freaking big. I'm looking at Jahi. Jahi seems unfazed by who's standing across the ring from him. it's another day at the office. We ready to get down and get busy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's looking unfazed. It's another day at the office for me. I'm ready to get down. Let's go. So the first round, it starts off, and it didn't take long because the talk was, he didn't want Jahi running around. Don't run around the ring. He was there to basically advocate for Xander Zayas. Now, listen, y'all. I look at it like this. If you send someone to advocate for you, that means, for one, you still have me on your mind. And there's been sidebar conversations about, okay, if he want to fight me, we'll give him something to think about. We'll give him freaking Nico Sekneshvili, who fought higher than on 175. You know what I'm saying? He fought higher than light heavyweight now. We'll give him to think about. That's what we'll do. We'll give him something to think about. So they send this big guy in there, and they're thinking, from looking at Jahi Tucker highlights on how he used his lateral movement and defense, something that's very important in the sport of boxing. He was saying, "Oh, don't run. All you're gonna do is run around. You're not gonna stand. You're not gonna stand and fight. You're gonna run around. They pretty much saying he was gonna be a track star that night." Boom, the bell rings in the first round, and they get to it. And the first one to land a good, solid, clean shot was Sekneshvili, bro. He landed the shot to open up the first round. Me and my imagination, it wasn't just in the ring. I'm thinking about shit, right? I'm saying, okay, Jahi gets touched. I see him buzzed. Sekneshvili, I'm thinking what Sekneshvili would be thinking about, what Nico would be thinking about. He say, "Oh, I hit him clean already. He's done. It's over." So this big motherfucker, Nico, I give him that. He landed the shot early. He got it out the gate. He came out the gate early, got straight down to it, bro. Straight down, and landed the shot. It was up to him to zip Jahi up and send him home. That's what combat's about. It's nothing more than that, bro. When you get somebody in a moment like this is your opportunity to shut down a fastly rising prospect, as they call him, and take the hype away. This was your chance. Nico had already faced one defeat. Jahi was obviously undefeated, 9-0, heading into that fight. So this was Nico's opportunity to zip him up. Boom, he started throwing some, combination. And then you see, at one point in time, Jahi starts to get his rhythm back, get his cognitive faculties back to catch these punches, to get defensively sounded again, to get his stability back. You know what I'm saying? Get his equilibrium back. And that was very quick. Like, this shit went by quick. He hurt him. And then he started to throw his combination, and Jahi started to get his rhythm back. He say, he was buzzed for a minute, and he started to see the shots coming again. But not once was he seemed like he was about to touch the canvas, or he was up against the ropes, all in the ropes, sitting in the ropes. He was hurt. He's grabbing on the people's kneecaps and shit. No, none of that. So he started to recover. So they fought on to end the first round. And when the second round came, right, I'm looking. And Nico, I still remember vividly, this man had a nice smile on his face because the first round was his. Real talk, the first round was his, man. It wasn't like Jahi ran the whole entire first round at all. Like, about the fight, he was, being defensive minded, he clinched a little bit. He was trying to recover. But I remember the second round, right? I was over there by Tucker's corner. I'm hearing everything that's going on. They're not in panic mode. You got Stitch Duran over there doing what he's supposed to do, the legend himself. You got Coach Tucker, his father, over there giving Jahi advice. But I'm listening, and peeking up there every now and then, but also I'm paying attention to Nico's corner. So when the bell rings, when the bell get ready to ring for the second round, has the biggest smile. And I just thought about, like, damn, it's only the second round of an 8-round fight, but you're smiling already. And then he cracked his lips. He said, yeah, yeah. He started talking shit. And I was like, damn, I've seen Jahi spar. I've seen him in some fights before. Dude got that gorilla in him. He has gorilla in him, dog. Fuck a dog. This fight, you had to have that gorilla in you, bro. That was this type of fight because he was in there with a much bigger fighter and he fought him at close quarters. So when I seen, Nico with that smile on his face and he was talking shit, it's gonna be easy, huh? He was so confident, and he should have been, because he had a good first round, bro. But what Jahi did next, once the bell rung for the second round, was show everybody, yeah, I gave you highlights. Yeah, I gave you a display of how defensively elusive I could be. I gave you combinations. I showed you how, I can be a magician with the timing. I showed you how I can make my opponent look basic. I showed you multiple different styles from each fight up to this point of my 10th professional fight. But now I'm going to show you, I'm going to limit my movement. I'm going to show you how it actually goes down once he turns on the kill switch. And Jahi chose to fight Nico in close quarters the rest of the fight. We're not talking about no running to the corner, you know what I'm saying, taking a breather. We talking about full-blown 6 gear, motherfucking slam the clutch, press the gas to the motherfucking floor. Let's go. I don't know what triggered him. I knew that he felt what he felt in the first round, but the display that he put on from the second round to the 8th round was exciting. The shit I was seeing him do to Nico, round after round after round, to break this dude, Nico couldn't keep up. And then, look, he couldn't keep up to a point where he was the bigger fighter. He had all the muscle. He had all the, he had more power, in my opinion. But when it came down to Jahi putting his punches together and the angles on his delivery, his engine, the motherfucking gorilla of his tenaciousness, like that gorilla bring that tenaciousness out of you. It brings that tenaciousness out of you, bro, when you got that gorilla in you. And he was banging out freaking Seknashvili. I swear it was to the body, the head, the hooks, uppercuts. You pick your choice of punches and you would have seen it. But listen, that's what people want to see from black fighters sometime, because black fighters was known to hit and not get hit, right? But Jahi gave you a Mexican style fight. Seknashvili came in there to represent his Puerto Rican friend. Both of them are in boxing, but he came there to be the representative. He came in there to be the measuring stick, so to speak. Let's send a guy who knows Xander very well and who has sparred with him several times. Put him in there. We're not going to give you Zayas just yet. We're going to send you his sparring partner. So the 3rd and 4th and 5th round took place and continues. You just saw it was on. The kill switch was on, man. Jahi was just full speed, like zoned the fuck in, locked. You had to be there, bro. Like, that shit was intense. And look, it wasn't like he didn't get hit with other shots. It didn't fucking matter, bro. Nico did land some other shots, but it didn't matter. Jahi was just like taking them motherfuckers, eating them, pop, 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 pop. Like it was never just one shot. It was a pop, 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 pop. Up to this day is one of the most exciting fights I've witnessed, especially ringside. Like that shit was fireworks, bro. He stood in the pocket. I mean, he stood in the pocket, stayed in the pocket, kept lighting them motherfucking them sticks of dynamite in the pocket. He was just damn touching the bigger fighter up so much to the point. I remember when certain people was hating on Jahi, right? Talking about he didn't have no power. But goddamn, if I didn't see Seknashvili starting to fold up, he started to try to block those shots to the body with them elbows. So something had to be bothering him. Something was making this man uncomfortable. That was a hell of a fucking fight, bro. That was a hell of a fight. Look, when he was coming back to the corner, look, Jahi was so locked in, man. I don't think he heard anything his corner even said, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think he heard anything. This dude was so locked in to the battlegrounds. He knew he had a guy over there that was his adversary. That was his foe. And he was going out there trying to kill that dude, bro. Not in a literal sense, but to kill him off and get this victory. I guess that smile, just said, this nigga think I'm motherfucking, he think I'm easy. He think I'm food. He think I was just up there trying to get some clout. Well, all that was put to bed. Real talk, all that shit was put to rest. You can't ask for a better fight from two equally skilled fighters who was going blow for blow. You know what I'm saying? Center square. I mean, the crowd was going berserk. And people was all locked in, standing up and shit, looking at this fight. I mean, it was a war, man. I think if it would have went to the 10 round or 12 rounds, more so if it went 12 round, I really think Jahi would have stopped him. I do think Jahi would have stopped that dude because he was bracing for some of those shots, especially to the body. He was bracing, he was folding over, like he was really bracing for those shots, man. And it was a superb performance. It wasn't like Jahi was coming from behind. It was the first round. From then on, you can hear Timothy Bradley over there. You can hear, him talking about, damn, Jahi dog. This is the same person who then put Jahi on his rising prospect list, his top 10 prospects. For whatever reason, saying he had to give that performance for them to say, you know what? He's for real. He's the goods. Now all we want is Xander Zayas. Because I think right now it's perfect. Xander is 16 fights in. Jahi's about to go in here and have his 11th fight. His team said he's feeling very, very good at this weight. You know what I'm saying? He's feeling very good in training with this weight so far. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to stay locked in for this, with the nutrition to make sure he's good. But him and Xander Zayas, in my opinion, is a pay-per-view fight. Seriously. I do believe this is a pay-per-view fight, especially the way Xander looked in his last fight. And you're probably saying that don't make any sense. Xander has the push behind him. That's where I'm at with it. Xander has the push. People, they're tuned in to Jahi Tucker, but he need that fight outside of Seknashvili. So if you want to send him a lifeline of a sparring partner and try to disrespect him, then guess what? Why don't you just give him who he was looking for in the beginning? He was looking for Zayas. Give him Zayas. Everybody wants to see that fight. It's just they don't want to talk about it. We can have fights over in NYC and represent the Puerto Rican fighters all day long, but let's not get it twisted now. Let's not get it twisted. They can bolster and big up and hype The Puerto Rican fighters over there in NYC. Let's not act like it's a gag order or censorship when it comes to calling out these fighters who are building up their record and they supposed to be the next big deal. But yet you got a fighter that's building up and doing the same exact thing. I'm trying to get my recognition too, God damn it. I'm calling you out. We just see Sebastian Fundora get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing all these fighters just waiting around for the big shot. Xander and Jahi is around the same, age and point in their career. Xander has 6 more fights than Jahi. Okay, cool. He's gonna have 5. It's all, you know what I'm saying? It's according to their activity. I think in 2021, Xander fought like what, 6 times, 5 or 6 times. It's a good time for them to link up, bro. No bullshit. I think it's a hell of a fight for them to link up. I think if enough people start to, it's gonna be up to Team Tucker too to try to get more eyes and here and there, like Jahi said during the fight, Xander, come pick your fucking mans up. That was a classic line. And look, Team Zayas was listening. That was their guy. They were sitting at home looking in that first round. See. We told them this is going to be over. He's going to make quick work of him. And then they commenced to see that curriculum take place from the 2nd to the 8th round, bro. They it's nothing they can say. They had to give him his respect. They was like, oh shit, this dude's tougher than what we thought. They had to show love. They had to come up and they had to give it up. They were smiling and joking, jumping up and down, dancing and doing whatever they was doing over there. But when that 2nd round hit and ended, and the 3rd ended, 4th started, ended, and that shit, and Jahi kept on putting hands on this dude. I know Team Zayas was like, damn, we might have to see this guy. We might have to see this guy, dog. Real talk, we might have to see him. We might have to see him after what he just did to our stablemate. We might have to see Jahi Tucker. We might have to see this dude, bro. Because he did that shit convincingly. And he told Xander to come pick your fucking mans up. He didn't say, could you please arrive at the arena and escort him out the building? No, he said, Xander, come pick your fucking mans up. So disrespectful. But that's what needed to be done. Real talk. He needed to send it out there. He always talking to the cameras. Jahi's always talking to the cameras, but this fight would be a good main event fight. Seriously. This is a very solid dynamic that does not have to include belts. Zayas has built his name up. Jahi's continuing to build his name up. But just like Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, they will match up very, very nicely if someone choose to accommodate the matchup. You know what I'm saying? It might be some protection there. After what he done to Nico, now they may be hands off with it. They say, yeah, before if Nico goes, you know what I'm saying? They may be a little bit, hey, let's pump the brakes on this guy. His cardio, his engine, his motor. He has a motor. And he ain't afraid to fight on the inside with you. He can box if you want to box. He can fight on it. He can fight when he want to fight. He ain't gonna be an easy out there, Xander. They having these conversations with him. He's not gonna be. You can go in there and try to land the hard punches, but we just seen Nico land a hard punch. He recovered. So if you ain't landing no hard freaking punch, if you don't catch him early and the fight going on, expect him to pretty much give you the same treatment and try to break you just like he did your stablemate. That's all I'm saying, man. I think it's a damn good fight. Remember, I put it out here. Y'all might not be, magnetized to it yet, but I'm putting this shit out there. I think it'll be a very good fight. Before they get injuries, for real. I think in between time, this is a fight that is worthy of attention. You know what I'm saying? We hear fighters talking about, oh, let it marinate, let it marinate. I'll say once again, how many fights does Lomachenko have? You know what I'm saying? How many fights does Lomachenko have before he had his big fights? Did y'all let that marinate, or you always basing everything off his Olympic pedigree? What did T.O. Did T.O. let the Masayoshi Nakatani fight marinate? Did he let the Richard Comey fight marinate and the Lomachenko fight? No, he got it in. 16 professional fights. 16 professional fights. So why not allow this fight to come and materialize and give the boxing fans maybe not what they was asking for on a regular basis, but a fight that would build up very nicely, that people would be entertained. And that can be their first 10 rounder. That will make it extremely interesting for both fighters. You know, give them their first 10 rounder, man. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm speaking for Jahi Tucker, you know, give him his first 10 rounder. You know what I'm saying? Gives them his first 10 rounder. Xander looks good for 2 rounds and then just becomes predictable as fuck. No dimensions. You know, there's people already out here watching, man. That's a solid point. It's a solid fucking point, bro. You know what I'm saying? I seen Jahi's opponent, that MF, getting stopped on July. See, you know, I think I'm gonna have faith in Top Rank. I think they're gonna give him, you know, somebody that's in the rankings sooner or later. I do, man. You know, he's going there for his 11th fight. I think they're gonna, you know, they got to come up with somebody in the rankings sooner or later. That's all I'm saying. You know, that was a hell of a fight. It was about 4 o'clock to 4:30 a.m. UK time. I was going crazy and woke my girlfriend up by calling out and shouting downstairs. Great fight. Yeah, for sure, man. It was fireworks, man. That shit was on point. It was electric, for real. It was good shit, bro. I gotta watch that fight again right now. Yeah, watch it, man. That shit was on and popping, man. It's just the way that, yeah, you know, they always talking about the testament of a man is not doing comfort and convenience, but through challenge and controversy. And that was one of those moments as a man. And not only that, but as a fighter in general, he was tested. He was tested. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he fought his fights in comfort and convenience. It's the point where he was showing people that this what I have in my cachet. This what I can deliver. This is how my performance value is. And these are the areas that, you know, I'm going to put on display for you all to admire or criticize. It's up to you. But that night right there was a fighting style that he just chose to lock in. He chose to lock in the close quarters. He chose to give very, very little distance in between them. He chose to make it personal. When you find that close in a fight, it's personal. It's like, I'm in your personal space. Do something about it. And then you're there and you're landing punches and both of y'all are throwing and swinging and then trying to take the other person out. Hey, if you're not having the success of your opponent land on their back or dropping to their knees, earning some type of freaking knockout, a knockdown rather, then you know you're in a hell of a fight. And that's what Nico found out, bro. Nico, if you're listening, you fought a hell of a fight, man. But you was in there with a gorilla who wasn't gonna be moved. The one thing that I say you might have messed up. You decided to smile when the fight was just getting started. You know what I'm saying? You haven't even really did anything except land one good punch on him, and you decided to smile. You showed your teeth, bro. You showed that you was not really taking the whole entire fight as being dangerous. All you did was believe that you did something that you put him in danger, and you thought you did enough to say, well, I drew first blood, so to speak. But you wasn't thinking about the repercussions that was behind this shit. You're in a boxing match. You got to go ahead and finish the job. When you try to go over there and finish the motherfucker, it wasn't anywhere close than what you thought. If I only could imagine, if I only could have the power to know what Nico was thinking, why Jahi was freaking, motoring through the rounds and keep on, he won, he was relentless, and he chose to stay on the inside and fight this dude. I was just curious to know what Nico was thinking, man. I really wanted to ask him, like, what were you thinking as the fight went along, that he's willing to stand in there with a bigger, supposedly stronger fighter, and he was breaking you up. That's all I wanted to know. I just want to hear what his words was. But yeah, they put him in the dressing room, and the team still complimented Nico on a good fight, because it was a good fight. He didn't lay the fuck down. It was a good fight. Everybody was cordial, even though the referee was trying to goddamn get Jahi to take, get fined any way to make this shit close. He took a point from him, dog. Like, Jahi was turning this dude, and then the referee, no, stop doing that now. You're doing it too easy. I'm like, dude, it's legal for him to turn the fighter. What's wrong with you? Like, the referee was really getting invested and paying attention to Jahi doing shit that was absolutely part of boxing, bro. He was warning him for everything. Stop breathing. Stop it. You breathe when I say so. Stop it. Is your fist balled up in the glove? Stop it. Stop clenching your fist in the gloves. When you hit him, make sure your hand is loose and you hit him. That's what I want, so it can limit the effect that it's having on him. Okay? Yeah, you think you're going to win this fight by yourself. No, I'm the third man in the ring, goddammit. The referee was going crazy, dog. Jeez, I forgot that bit at the start. Jahi said, off with his fucking head. Jahi was definitely locked in. Yeah, man. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, a.k.a. Showtime Shaw, Team Tucker in the building. What's good with it, Showtime? He said facts. He showed some more tools in his toolbox inside Dog Demon fighting. You know what I'm saying? Dog Demon. I think it was goddamn that gorilla demon, man. The one thing I know about gorillas, they fight close quarters. They don't give no motherfucking room or space between each other. They motherfucking just throwing shit. Hey, the strong fucking survive, dog. He said, I'm easy, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was smiling. Somebody didn't tell that man, you never allow your adversary to feel that you've already became extremely comfortable and the war haven't even begun yet. Like, yeah, you may have thrown some punches, but you really haven't been sat down yet to the point where your adrenaline levels at a certain all-time high, and you know that you're in a war. You're in a fucking war. And somebody didn't tell Nico that. Nico came out the second round like it was play time. Jahi looked at that nigga like, damn, this dude is smiling. Okay, all right, shit. Okay, this nigga smiling and think is easy. He's thinking on food. I don't know what the fuck he think, but he seemed a little bit too happy over there. And I'm looking dead at him. I say, oh shit, this motherfucker smiling and talking, and it's only the second round. And then, Showtime was right there. He's getting involved in the match. I thought he was going to pick up a chair and toss it over there. Shit. I thought he was going to grab a table and shit. Bro, we was going to be doing some WWE shit off the top rope. Start to act like he was going to try The referee tried to, show us that he was going to be the one that dictate the ebbs and flow of this fight. And that's where it could have became real bad because, hey, Nico was hitting after the bell, but he land one and Jahi land about 2 or 3. He wasn't letting them off. But what Jahi did looked worse because he just didn't land one punch when the bell rang. It was multiple. So the referee looked at that. He didn't look at the instigator. You know what I'm saying? He just looked at the responder. He knew a late shot had been thrown by Nico, but he just wanted to go after the person who responded. So we thought, damn, this is going to turn bad because it seems like he want to take points away. And sure enough, he did. He tried to get that fight as close as possible, boy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he said, don't turn him. Stop that. For real. The classic moment was when music said, drink the fucking water. Hey, man. Hey. Jahi was on his own type of fuel system, dog. Hey, Jahi was on his own fuel system, bro. He said, I don't need no motherfucking water. I got some shit that's going on inside. I got my shit together, bro. I don't need no water. I'm on my own fuel system. You heard of them cat, having them separate fuel systems. Them dudes that race cars and shit like that. They be having them separate fuel injection systems that they go off of, man. I'm telling you. That's what it was, man. Salute Showtime definitely showed more tools, but Nico didn't realize Jahi had brought a gun to a knife fight. Yeah, man, he bought that FA up in that bitch. He bought that fully automatic, and he was letting that motherfucker rip. I hope they do, in the near future, lock this fight in, and let's not wait to somebody get to 20 fights and see if they stay at the division because Zayas is getting bigger. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's stopped growing yet, but you never know. Zayas might move up to 160. You know what I'm saying? When he was at 147 and he moved to 54, they pretty much, Team Tucker was like, no, there's no need to talk about him no more because he at 154. But Jahi, he had a growth spurt. Now they're in the same division again. So what better fight to make in the near future? You don't need 20 freaking fights. Lock that shit in right now, bro. Lock that shit in right now, man. It'll be a very good fight. And all I can do is talk it up on social media, and that's that. Yes, sir. Jameson on deck. Salute to you. Jahi's a future star. He got stamped by T.O. Just how T.O. got stamped by Bud and Bomac. Yeah, I got what you're saying, man. I definitely got what you're saying. He did interrupt my interview. And he did interrupt my interview, but I look at it like this. Jahi understands the lecture before the lecture. Yeah, T.O., he does have, how you put it, T.O., I can say he has a little bit of ground, or he has a little bit of bragging rights, so to speak, the talk his shit, because he was able to do something very early in his career. You cannot deny the gauntlet, the 3-fight gauntlet that he went on and won, from Nakatani to Comey to Lomachenko, man. You can't deny that shit. Those are 3 very, very good fights. And then the man had 3 fights at 140. Look, he had 3 fights at 140. In his 3rd fight, he becomes champion and picks up the lineal. So, bro, we it's not like someone has an issue with the lecture that he was given, but he's been there, done that. But I totally understand. I get that. I believe Jahi understands the lecture anyway. He understands what's required of him. He understands what's demanded. He just has to continue to grow his exposure, his brand, continue to, put on exciting performances and, get people to talking. You know what I'm saying? He needs to come back around the YTC like he did when people was ranting about his discrepancies with Boots in his sparring. But as we all know, you definitely have to be careful with basically moonlighting on the YTC, because people who you think are in your best interest, they turn around and find it convenience to try to throw you in traffic, as we seen happen with Jahi. Somehow, some way he goes over there and spars Boots, and people was trying to say that he was Boots' sparring partner and act like he was expendable goods. You feel me? That's how that can play. And, people are going to remember this shit. People are going to remember it. But I can guarantee you this, those same people that was believing and trying to make a joke about the sparring session that he had with Boots wasn't saying that when he stepped outside the square from Sekneshvili. Because Nico Sekneshvili is bigger than Boots. Absolutely. I say size-wise bigger than him. Size. Not bigger than him as far as when it comes to the career. Size, he's bigger than Boots. And he showed to have that power. So that's where we at with it. That's where we at. Jameson probably did that shit on purpose, man. That's why we need channels like this to put talent into public eye. I start following Jahi because of you, and the guy's nice. I appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. I give a big shout out to Team Tucker, man, for, being able to, cover this warrior. You know what I'm saying? And how they raised him up into the game. You know what I'm saying? Since the first fight to his 11th fight, going to be July. So yeah, man, good people, man. But I got to be disciplined when I get around them, because, they be having that authentic Jamaican food, and I'll be like, shit, did they bring some Jamaican food? Are they too far from home? Because goddamn it, when they on the spot now, shit. Well, that motherfucker, ooh, that food, that shit's addicting. I ain't gonna lie, that authentic Jamaican food is addicting, man. You know what I'm saying? You be craving that shit. Like, man, when is lunch? What we eating? I enjoy the food vouchers. I ain't complaining about the food vouchers now. But goddamn it, when you got the actual entree to home cooked meals and shit, the home cooked authentic plate, that shit's different. You know what I'm saying? That shit different than them food vouchers. For real. You know what I'm saying? That shit's way different, y'all. But y'all stay tuned, man. Yeah, definitely stay tuned. He's about to be on deck, man, next week, I believe. Yeah. He's gonna be on deck next week. You know what I'm saying? Team Tucker be back in the building, man. And expect him to go in there and put on another show for the boxing fans and also the YTC. You're invited to tune in. It's going to be Jared Anderson's homecoming. He's the main event in Toledo, Ohio, via the flagship of boxing promotions, Top Rank. Yes. Yeah. Jared Anderson doing his thing. He's doing his thing. Real talk. Jared Anderson doing his thing. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's doing his damn thing, bro. So y'all be sure to tune in to that. Stay close. You know what I'm saying? And talk it up. We'll talk it up all the way to the fight. After the fight, we'll see how it go. You know what I'm saying? Team Tucker will be over there. Wish them nothing but the best heading into that deployment. It's always great to see a fighter continue to build up their boxing rec. You know what I'm saying? And put those wins away. And then work themselves up to a title shot. But that's all I got, people. That is him in the thumbnail. Salute to y'all who pulled up. Hold it down. We'll do it again later. I'm out.